Good evening. Please take your seat.
Thank you, sir.
You're Disha.
Yes, sir.
Disha, you're comfortable in English?
Yes, sir.
Will that be your preferred medium for interview?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Disha, you must have noticed that we are trying to be as careful as possible when it comes to COVID.
Yes, sir.
And that's why we have taken many steps, and one of them is that we have kept your chair at adequate distance.
Yes, sir.
So in this room, you're at safe distance from anybody else. That makes you safe and that makes others feel safe, right?
Yes, sir.
Another advantage of keeping this distance is that if you wish to remove your mask, you'll be feeling safe because you're at adequate distance. Would you like to remove your mask?
Yes, sir.
Please do. You're comfortable?
Yes, sir.
You are not showing any symptoms yourself, right?
No, sir.
Fine, Disha. Let us start then. To begin with, I want you to introduce yourself to the board members in a manner that your name is not repeated, your caste, your community, or any other identity marker is not revealed. Please do.
Sir, as you know, my name is Disha Shrivastava.
That was not to be repeated. Yes.
I am a 2017 civil engineer graduate. Further, I started my civil services preparation. My optional is geography, and I have varied interests as in meditation, writing, and dancing.
Okay, you are a graduate engineer of batch 2017.
Yes, sir.
Your branch was?
Civil engineering, sir.
You did civil engineering. So, I'm sure you have taken civil engineering as your optional paper?
No, sir.
Any particular reason for that low level of confidence in your parent discipline?
Sir, when I started my preparation in 2017, I looked at the syllabus of civil engineering and I found it to be very vast and not adequate sources present at the time since I prepared on my own.
Okay, so despite studying for 4 years, you found that the UPSC syllabus is vast and you didn't know where to find resources for it.
Sir, I already had a lot of interest in geography since my academics, so I thought that it would be preferable for me to go with it.
Okay, and you're originally from Gorakhpur.
Yes, sir.
Gorakhpur has that mutt which is known everywhere.
Yes, sir.
What exactly is a mutt and how is it different from monasteries, Bihar?
Sir, Gorakshnath Mutt is actually a place where all the yogis and the people who are related to it, they reside there and they do their worshipping and their devotion towards God. Monastery has some different strict regulations and rules which is variant from that of the mutt.
This mutt in your district which you mentioned, what exactly is the philosophy of it and how is it different from say the other prevalent philosophies of time?
So this Gorakshnath Mutt is actually a place where an important proponent of Tantricism, Guru Gorakshnath, he took the Samadhi there. So it became famous after that point and it is another specific...
What exactly is Tantricism as you mentioned?
So actually it is a branch of, it became a branch of Bhakti movement itself. There they had different and specific methods to please and show their devotion towards the God.
And what is the God in the Goraknath philosophy?
So,
whether the God exists or not?
Sir, they did not specifically worshipped one particular God. They believed in it. Actually, the philosophy behind it is somewhere still an ambiguity, and they believe that the God exists is in the form of like we see in Tantricism, goddess Kali. So they used such methods and variations to show their devotion.
Okay, you have taken geography as your optional paper, and geography, as you said, was you liked geography more than your own discipline. So I'm sure you're very good at geography. Sir will be asking you more about it. But just tell me, if you look at rivers in UP,
yes, sir.
It's a strange thing that after Prayagraj, the river is called Ganga and not Yamuna. I could never understand. In geography, how do we decide which river is tributary of the other? What is the method of deciding?
So actually, when Ganga enters into UP, Ganga originates from Gangotri and Yamuna joins Ganga. We see it.
Why are you saying Yamuna joins Ganga and not the other way around?
So it basically depends on the volume of the water it contains. Ganga,
you're confident about it because that's not the case as I know. But you're saying that volume of water decides that which is distributary and which is tributary. Is that the case?
So it also depends upon the direction and Sir, I'm not very much sure about this. Sir,
That's
I will
the
look into
better
it.
answer actually. Okay, you have mentioned that you like writing.
Yes, sir.
If you look at, you write in Hindi or English?
Sir, I write in both the mediums.
Both the medium. So if you look at the women writers of Uttar Pradesh,
Yes, sir.
can you tell me why women writers from Uttar Pradesh, especially in Hindi, never got that kind of a prominence which the men folks did actually?
So there are multifaceted reasons. First of all, the patriarchal mindset has been there. Also, women as in writing there has not been a lot of women into the sector as well. But there are few names as Mahadevi Verma. We recently saw that she celebrated her birthday. She used to celebrate her birthday along with the Holi. And then there is Janki Devi as well. So they did well, and they are known throughout India for their work.
UP has contributed a lot to literature.
Yes, sir.
But there are many, it has impacted literature a lot.
Yes, sir.
But many believe a lot of this impact is actually a bad impact. क्या क्या नुकसान हुआ है उत्तर प्रदेश का साहित्य को?
ऐसा कोई नेगेटिव एस्पेक्ट में भी याद नहीं कर पा रही हूँ, सॉरी सर.
One, for instance, is that in Indian Hindi writing or Indian writing in general, more specifically about Hindi writing, the Brahmanism is the impact of Uttar Pradesh on literature. It's all about all Brahminical, both in terms of content as well as in terms of the writing culture. And it's a bad impact, it is said. Don't you agree?
Sir, I completely do not agree with this, because